Shares of the metals and mining company Teck Resources have lost roughly a third of their value this year. Options bulls betting on upside, though. Jon and Pete Najarian have that unusual activity and more. Doc, you go first.
All right. Stock's 1563 right now, and they're buying upside calls. You know what that means? They're looking for more, even though it's already moved 4.5% today. So take a look at what they're buying, Scott. They're buying aggressively upside calls at the 1550 strike. So we've already moved through that level today, and they're still buying these calls. I'm in them, probably be in them all the way through December expiration. Second one, real quick. I promised this guy, Jim Cramer.
Yes.
3.8% dividends.
Oh my God!
SANOFI. They're going to be at the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference.
Oh, that's
a nice.
We love them. We love them. Novartis, we love. I wish Nestle's had some sort of health thing. I like that one too.
Hey, John.
Nice.
When is that conference?
That's the 14th of January. They're buying January calls. I'm glad you led me into that, Scott. Thank you.
Throw me a phone book, will you?
January 48 calls.
Fine, man.
They bought a ton of these calls. I am in these, and I'll be in them through that JP Morgan Healthcare Conference.
I ask you that question just because you're betting on news coming out of the conference.
Yep, but they've also got another issue, I think just a week or so from now, Scott, a capital markets conference. But the big one, the granddaddy, is that JP Morgan Healthcare Conference.
Yeah.
It's the first one every year, and it's a big one.
But the risk, of course, is that
this one's going to be fabulous. Bristol Myers. That's going to be great, too.
Yep. It's going to be great, too.
The risk is that you better get the news out of either of those conferences to make that move continue. To make the move by in January.
Yep, and 48 calls, not that far out of the money.
Yep.
As you saw, stock's 46.
Okay, go ahead,
Too early
Pete.
to buy Smile Direct Club?
It might be. I didn't see anything in there.
I'm going to jump in real quick. JetBlue. Now, we talk about a lot of different stocks in the airline world. Oftentimes, this one gets pushed back a little bit. But this is a name that's moving a little bit to the upside today. And they're coming after the D's calls. They're coming after the D's 20 calls. You'll see them here. Some nice size. I mean, we talk about size. Now, they're very inexpensive. When they started buying these today, they were approximately 20 cents. So they've probably risen a little bit with the stock. But they're playing on a breakout to the upside out of JetBlue. I like this name. I'm in these calls. I own UAL and LUV in terms of stock, but this one's calls.
Wow.
I like what we're seeing there.
I think UAL is great.
Some
I
nice
love Gary Kelly at LUV.
Yep.
Buffett kind of likes them, too.
And Buffett kind of likes these
Can you go back to the chart for a second, JetBlue?
Okay. You got it?
Okay, look at this. David Faber taught me this. He says, David says this is a reverse head and shoulders. You didn't know that David's a chartist.
God, he's good. He's really good. I got one more for you, NUANCE, real quick. So this has hit twice for us today. On two different occasions, they've been buying in this stock. So it's pretty interesting to see when you see it twice in the same day. The bigger of the two was the April 18 calls. They're paying about $1.15 for these calls. It was about $2,500 somewhere in there. So something worth looking at. I like it because this has always been a Carl Icahn favorite kind of a name. Maybe someday he looks at this for maybe something more than what it is right now. So that's why I like these. I'm in these calls. I'll be pulling these for a while now because I got multiple months to be able to hold on to these calls. I got a couple of updates if they want to still do that.
Sure.
All right. So these didn't work out as well. So I've got Foot Locker. This one, unfortunately, hasn't worked out.
Good comparable store sales, but then kind of negative downbeat.
Look at that. But you know, the nice part about this is I had options in there, so 95 cents. The next day, give or take on this huge drop after earnings, they didn't work out. So now they're trading at about a nickel.
That's
a loser. And I'm not going to sell that because why I'm going to sell a nickel? You never sell a nickel option. So I'll be holding on to these. Maybe something good happens. Probably not. They're out to January. I got one more that's a little bit better. Capri. Now, Capri was one of these names. Yeah. Last week, into holiday week, on Monday, we had some huge call buying.
You better do something right because the Apple Watch is killing them.
Yeah, you're right. But they've got a lot of different other things.
They do. Versace. Look, I happen to like the guy. Idol. I mean, he's not my idol, but he's good. But I've got to tell you, they have misquarter. So maybe this is the one that he does.
And when they bought them on that Monday, it was 50 cents. They went up over $1. So out of that position now, Jimmy, I've sold out of those. They also expired last Friday, but a big run in just 2 days.
Do you think any possibility on the tariffs that you
probably it could be a tariff,
right? It could be a tariff.
Yeah, absolutely.